Good morning, everyone. We are the group number 4 to represent the life of Aristotle, Ptolemy, and Copernicus. If we reach back to the beginnings of any culture, we find stories about how the world came to be and why things are the way they are. Why does rain fall from the sky? Where does fire comes from? Why does it get so dark at night? Well, ancient societies came up with stories to explain these things. But first, let's talk about Aristotle. Around 384 to 322 before Common Era, Aristotle is a Greek philosopher from Athens. He was the most influential thinker in world history, a man whose ideas permeated every sector of society. He is the father of the modern logic, the inventor of the science of biology, and the founder of ethnical reasoning. His birthplace was in the Chalcidic Peninsula of Macedonia in northern Greece. His father's name is Nicomachus, a court physician of King Amyntas II of Macedonia. While it is believed that Aristotle's mother named Paesis was descended from Greek aristocracy. They had 3 children, with Aristotle being the youngest, and he had a sister named Ariomneste, and a brother named Ariomnestus. When his father died when he was only at the age of 13, and his mother died soon after, he was raised through his teenage years by Praxedus of Atarneus, his older sister's husband. Praxedus helped him about his study. At the age of 17, he was sent to the Athens to pursue higher education and enroll at Plato's Academy, and stayed for 20 years to study, while it is at least 2 decades. At the time, Athens was considered the academic center of the universe. The Plato Academy was a Greek's premier learning institution and proven exemplary scholar. In 347 before Common Era, when Plato suddenly passed away, Aristotle, his most brilliant student, was disagreed with some of Plato's philosophical treatises. He was expected to become the next master of the academy, but instead, they've chosen Plato's nephew, Speusippus. And for continuing about his contributions, may I call on Miss Clyde Lori Wakalia.
He invented the study of formal logic, devising for it to finish system that for centuries was regarded to understand and justify how people think about philosophy and the world in general. He made pioneering contributions to all fields of all philosophy and science, and it was the study of zoology, both observational and theoretical, kung saan ang isa sa kanyang gawa ay nananatiling walang kapantay hanggang sa 19th century. He identified those various scientific as the sum of disciplines and explored their relationship to each other. He may be regarded as the founder of biology. Ito nga po ay may sistematikong pagkolekta ng data, pagtuklas ng mga pattern at mga posibleng paliwanag mula sa mga ito. He made one of the contributions to the field of geology. Siya rin ang unang tao na gumawa ng mga critical na obserbasyon tungkol sa bagal na rate ng geological change. He noted that it is difficult for humans to realize these changes since they take place in time. For his writings on ethics were critical in the development of modern philosophy, which is individual that ethics is a branch of philosophy that involves systematizing, defending, and recommending. He made substantial contributions to political philosophy. In addition to his work on ethics, kung saan nakatuon siya sa individual at tinugunan din niya ang kanyang trabaho na pinamagatang Politics of Politica.
Aristotle's moral frameworks. Aristotle's moral framework, prudence, justice, temperance, and courage, focuses on virtue, recommending the virtuous way of life by its relation to happiness. The virtuous person exhibits the joint excellence of reason and of character. Aristotle's 4 cardinal virtues only make sense within the broader context of his moral philosophy. Aristotle noticed that people always act for ends or goals, some good which they see as desirable. Some of these goods, however, only intermediate. For instance, if I choose to go to the store, this goal is intermediate. I mean, since it is chosen only for the sake of further good, buying food. Buying food is also a mean, not chosen for its own sake. Give the people to act. Aristotle reasoned that there must be some one good that represents an end, not a mean. That is the ultimate force that motivates action. This good is nothing secret. It is simply happiness. People act because they seek happiness.
Geocentric model, any theory of the structure of the solar system or the universe in which Earth is assumed to be at the center of it all. Aristotle's geocentric model, he extended Exodus model of the universe in the 4th century BCE. Aristotle's model of the universe was also geocentric, with the sun, moon, planets, and stars all orbiting the Earth inside of Exodus spheres. Sinasabi dito na ang modelo ni Aristotle ay nagpapakita na ang mga planeta sa celestial realm ay gumagalaw sa paligid ng Earth sa maayos na paraan, sa perpektong bilog at may pare-pareho ng paggalaw na hindi bumibilis o bumabagal, kung saan ang mga bagay sa kalawakan ay hindi nagbabago at ito ay gumagalaw sa perpektong bilog na tinuturo niyang perpektong hugis.
One of Aristotle's most famous work is the Nicomachean Ethics. It indicates happiness or living well as the primary goal in human life. It is named under his son Nicomachus. The Ethics considered how man should best live those virtues which produce happiness. His other important works include physics, metaphysics, politics, on the soul, and poetics. Geocentric model. Aristotle contributed geocentric model for the universe. He stated that Moon, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn are moving around the Earth with fixed stars beyond. Ptolemy's life. Claudius Ptolemy, a Greco-Egyptian who lived in or around the city of Alexandria for 69 to 70 years. Ptolemaios. Ptolemy's Greek name is Ptolemaeus. It once occurs in Greek mythology and is of Homeric form. He was a mathematician who used mathematics to understand the stars and the earth.
Ptolemy's world map. The Ptolemy world map is a map of the world known to the Roman Empire in the 2nd CAD. It probably played an important role in the expansion of the Roman Empire to the east. It is a map of the world known to the Greco-Roman Empire in the 2nd century. It is based on a description contained in Ptolemy's book Geography, written c. 150. Based on inscription in several of the early surviving manuscripts, it is traditionally credited to Agathodemon of Alexandria.
Ptolemy's contributions. Number 1. Astronomy, Almagesto, na meron 13 books. Ito ay nakatutok sa astronomy at geometry, kung saan sa kanyang teorya na ang Earth ay bumubuo sa sentro ng universo at sa kadahirang iyon ay nananatiling hindi gumagalaw at sa paligid nito ay umiikot ang araw, buwan at mga bituin. Number 2. Astrology, Tetrabiblos, na may 4 na books. Ito ay nakatutok sa astrolohiya at ang pangunahing mga manual ng pagtuturo para sa paglalapat at pag-unawa sa astrolohiya, kung saan sa kanyang gawa na ang mga karamdaman o sakit na dinanas ng mga tao ay dahil sa impluensya ng araw, buwan, mga bituin at mga planeta, sa partikular na tanda ng astrolohiya. Number 3. Optics, Law of Refraction. Sa kanyang pag-aaral, kailangan manawaan kung paano gumagana ang refraction, lalo na kung paano nagbabago ang direksyon o estilo ng liwanag habang dumadaan ito sa iba't ibang medium. 4. Geography, Geographica. Ito ay isang compendium ng mga mathematical technique para sa tumpak na pagmamapa. Pinagsasama nito ang iba't ibang mga sistema ng projection at koleksyon ng mga coordinate ng mga pangunahing lugar ng mundo kung saan ito kilala. Number 5. Music, Harmonics. Sa kanyang teorya sa musika na ang mga distansya sa pagitan ng mga planeta at ang kanilang mga paggalaw ay maaaring mag-iba dahil sa mga tono ng mga instrumento at musika sa pangkalahatan. Number 6. Sunglasses, Sundials. Ito ay isang instrumento na ginagamit upang sukatin ang taas ng araw sa pamamagitan ng isang kahoy ng kwadrante at isang gnomon na gumagawa ng isang anino kapag ang araw ay nag-iilaw ay nagbibigay ng isang direktang sukatan ng taas ng araw. Number 7. Mathematics, Trigonometry. Ang kanyang mga gawa sa trigonometry ay napakahalaga sabagkat nilipat niya ang mga pangunahing teorema sa spherical trigonometry upang magkaroon ng solusyon sa maraming pangunahing mga problema sa astronomiya.
Ptolemy's most famous work is the Almagest. As astronomy textbook and star catalog, the Almagest was a substantial, ambitious work because it taught its students on how to predict the location of any heavenly body at any time from anywhere on Earth using Ptolemy's mathematical model of planet movements. It is a 2nd century Greek language, mathematical and astronomical treatise, and it is written about 150 CE on the apparent motions of the stars and planetary paths. Ptolemy presented his model's output in the form of data tables as part of an organized group of units of text because in real visible events in the sky seemed to confirm the turn of Ptolemy's views. And using his tables, one could also predict eclipses, that the position of any planet in the night sky at any time in the past or future.
Thank you, Miss Clyde Glory Racalia. And now it's about the Ptolemaic system. The Ptolemaic system was the geocentric system that postulated that the apparently irregular paths of the Sun, Moon, and the planets were actually a combination of several regular circular motions seen in perspective from a stationary Earth. The Earth was the center of the universe according to Claudius Ptolemy. Claudius Ptolemy, whose view of the cosmos persisted for 1,400 years until it was overturned with controversy by findings from Copernicus, Galileo, and Newton. Ptolemy developed this idea through observation and with mathematical detail. Ptolemy accepted Aristotle's idea that the Sun and the planets revolve around a spherical Earth, a geocentric view. Ptolemy believed in a geocentric universe and the planets and stars were perfect spheres, though Earth itself was not. He further thought that the movements of the planets and the stars must be circular since they were perfect, and if the motions were circular, then they could go on forever. In doing so, he rejected the hypothesis of Aristarchus of Samos, who came to Alexandria about 350 years before Ptolemy was born. But unfortunately, Aristarchus had made the claim that the Earth revolves around the Sun, but he couldn't produce any evidence to back it up.
He was born on February 19, 1473 in Torun, Poland, city on north-central at the Vistula River. He came into a wealthy family that his father, Nicholas, was a well-to-do merchant, while his mother, Barbara Watson Road, came from a leading merchant family. He was given the best education of the day and bred for a career in charge law. Studied liberal arts between 1491 and about 1494, including the astronomy and astrology because in his period it was considered of a common subject na tinatawag na science of the stars, na ang layunin ay magbigay ng paglalarawan ng kaayusan sa langit at kasama din po dito ang pagtatayo paggawa ng mga horoscopes. And later on, he was sent to Italy to study medicine and law. Sa loob ng maraming taon at sa mga sangay ng kaalaman kung saan nakamit niya pareho ang scholarly degrees at fame. In May 1503, Copernicus studied medicine at the University of Padua. And finally, he received a doctorate in canon law sa University of Ferrara. Ngunit hindi po siya nag-aral doon. At bumalik siya sa Poland kung saan siya naging church administrator at doctor. And in his free time, inilaan niya ang kanyang sarili sa mga gawaing pang-agham na kung minsan ay kasama o nabibilang ang astronomical work. And by his time and legacy, Nicholas Copernicus was a Polish astronomer and mathematician known as the father of modern astronomy. And he was also the first European scientist to propose that Earth and other planets revolve around the Sun and the heliocentric theory of the solar system.
Nicholas Copernicus against the Ptolemaic system. Copernicus rejected the Ptolemaic theory basically because he found it too contrived. In the Ptolemaic system, the Earth was at the rest at the center, and the Sun, Moon, and planets all went around it. Nicolaus Copernicus found many deficiencies in the Ptolemaic model. He felt that any model of the planet motion must account for the observation and have circular uniform motion. The Ptolemaic model did not do that. Ptolemaic model explained that the Earth is the center of the universe and everything else revolves around it. Each planet moves in a circular path called epicycle, which move by the other planets. And Copernicus did not agree to the Ptolemaic model because he believed that the center of the universe is the sun and the majority of the planets revolve around it. Also, the epicycle moves in an elliptical motion, not circular. The moon revolves around both the Earth and the sun, while Earth revolves around the sun. Copernicus' revolutionary ideas recognized the heaven. The Copernican revolution was the paradigm shift from the Ptolemaic model of the heavens. Copernicus figured out that the Earth is not at the center of the universe. Copernican revolution fundamentally changed the way we think about our place in the universe. Copernicus' groundbreaking argument that Earth and the planets revolve around the sun led him to make a number of other major astronomical discoveries. While revolving around the sun, Earth, he argues, spends on its axis daily. Earth takes 1 year to orbit the sun, and during this time revolves gradually on its axis, which account for the precession of the equinoxes. For decades, on the revolutionary of heavenly spheres remained unknown to all but the most sophisticated astronomers, and most of these men, while admiring some of Copernicus' arguments, rejected his heliocentric basis.
Nicolaus Copernicus and the heliocentric theory. It is during 1508 and 1514. Nicolaus Copernicus wrote a short astronomical treatise, commonly called the Commentarius or the Little Commentary, which laid the basis for his heliocentric system, the sun-centered system. Heliocentric theory was considered as the greatest controversy in science during that time. For Copernicus, his heliocentric theory was by no means a watershed, for it created as many problems as it solved. For instance, heavy objects were always assumed to fall to the ground because Earth was the center of the universe. Why would they do it in a sun-centered system? According to him, Earth and the planets revolve around the sun. It led him to make a number of other major astronomical discoveries. While revolving around the sun, Earth, he argued, spins on its axis daily. With no concept of gravity, Earth and the planets still revolve around the sun on giant transparent spheres. Because of these problems and others, Copernicus delayed publication of his major astronomical work. The major astronomical work of Nicolaus Copernicus, De Revolutionibus Orbium Coelestium Libri, or 6 books concerning the revolutions of the heavenly orbs. It was completed around 1530, but it was not published until 1543, the year of his death. In the treatise, he correctly postulated the order of the known planets, including Earth, from the Sun, and estimated their orbital periods relatively and accurately. And for his discovery, here is Miss Kristen Bautista Inca.
What did Nicholas discover? Sun is the center of the universe. According to Copernicus, Earth and other planets revolve around the sun. Earth rotates on its own axis daily. While Earth takes 1 year to revolve around the sun, it gradually rotates on its axis too. Gregorian calendar. The Julian calendar, which became inexact that it fell out of time, so the new Gregorian calendar was introduced in 1582, with leap years and is still in use today.
Facts about geocentric model. Exodus created the first model of a geocentric universe around 380 BC before Aristotle.